When a masculine hurts me, he hurts himself, for I didn't come out of him like the Bible lie would have us believe. He came out of me. I bled and screamed to deliver you into this realm. You have forgotten this and allowed this dark masculine world to take you away from your own divinity. Brother, son, husband, you have forgotten my divinity as well as yours. You have made me a prisoner, but you are just as imprisoned as I am. For your true essence, beauty, and power was never truly alive. Being a man is not what this world told you it is. It is not about being a warrior and a taker. It is about being a protector and a giver of life. I love you forever. The Divine Feminine. Hi everyone, how are you? So we're talking today about what a real man is. Unfortunately, like I said many times, the Divine Masculine has been asleep, just like the Divine Feminine, and it's all awakening right now. We're all awakening together. When it comes to the Divine Masculine, there's a few things that I wanna discuss today about. First of all is the abandonment of the father figure. In our society, we see that, and we have been seeing that for many years. Many children grow up without a father. I'm one of them. And it's, obviously, unfortunately, some fathers pass away, but mostly there is an abandonment of fathers because the fathers themselves grow up in a home where they haven't had a Divine Masculine or masculine at all. So it's kind of a vicious cycle that we're all growing up with. And it's really devastating for men, especially for little boys. Many boys grow up without a healthy masculine role model in our world, and they become too feminine. A lot of them become too feminine, or they turn to the extreme side and they turn to the dark side of masculinity. So many men suffer because they're missing on this masculine energy in their being, because their fathers are not present physically or emotionally. The boys are suffering. The girls suffer also because they grow up with many fears and insecurities regarding men. And I'm one of them, trust me. And the mothers who raise these children alone are turning more masculine because they have to take care of everything, So it's creating this imbalance of everything. So you see why the masculine is so needed. And when it's missing, especially in the family unit, it's destroying everything else and everyone else. There is just imbalance of feminine and masculine energy. I just want to give like one example. For example, in Israel, in my country, the country I was born in, I don't live there, but it's the country I'm from. And this is an example, and I'm not going into, this is not about politics or anything, guys. Just try to pay attention to to the example I'm trying to give. In my country, most boys and girls, we go to the army when we're 18. So even though I don't like armies in generally at all, and I absolutely believe that the army does more damage, especially to girls, because we're learning to be more masculine in the army, because the army is pure masculine. I do believe that the Israeli army, for example, helps a lot of boys, because a lot of boys here grew up without a really good masculine role model. And when they go to the army, they become more mature. It makes them a lot more mature, more confident, more respectful. And then I see boys in the United States, for example, where I also live, and when they're 18, they go to school and they just party all the time, and they actually have less respect for women and for life generally. So the army, for example, in this way is a good masculine role model for these boys, but it's not a complete divine masculine. It gives them a few things that they need as a man to grow up with, but they don't get the essence of what divine masculine is, and it's so sad. So many boys learn to be in their masculine energy, but the army is not a whole divine masculine form of masculine energy. So most of these boys grow up with only a part of their divine masculinity, to say the least. And also, like, men all over the world don't even get to experience even that. So there is a lot of men who are just lost and they don't know what their masculinity really is at all. Or they're really confused about it because they get so many different ideas of what a man should be and what a real man is, growing up in whatever society they grew up in. This is, and the East and the West side of the world, they both have different but horrible ideas about masculinity, like it's horrible. Many boys today, I see a lot of young boys turn to alcohol at a very, very young age, and it destroys their masculine energy. They eat meat, which also, destroys their divine connection to their heart, which I speak about all the time. They learn having sex from porn. And I have a lot to say about porn, which I'm going to need probably 10 videos to talk just about porn. Since, these boys they don't have divine men around them to guide them how to treat women and how to touch women through sex. No one talks to them about it. So as well, these boys have their own wounds from not feeling man enough, because they didn't have a father, or they had a father who was absent. So many of them find that dominating a woman sexually or emotionally is the way to feel more like a man, and they learn that they must ejaculate even more and more often with more women to be like a real man, and that women are not to be respected but used. I've been hanging out, especially recently, with a lot of young boys, and it's shocking to me. I mean, it's not that shocking. It's just really sad the way that they view life and women and sex and sexuality. It's devastating. So one of the things I spoke about was the ejaculation. A big mistake. And those of you who listen to me for a while know why this is a huge mistake of our society, to show men that they have to ejaculate, they have to fuck more women, they have to have more sex and ejaculate more. Frequent ejaculation weakens the energy of men very much. Unlike for women, when we have an orgasm, we actually create more energy, more life force in ourselves. When a man has more orgasms and ejaculation, he loses a lot of life force. And when he has unconscious sex, he actually disconnects from his heart, which is his power, more and more and more. So the more women, when we have an orgasm, our power is strengthening. Porn today is also filled with humiliation, the energy of humiliating women, which boys learn is the way to treat a woman. And that, again, disconnects them from their heart, which is their source of power. And it disconnects men and women from truly uniting in lovemaking. There's so much I want to say about this. I'm trying to keep it small right now. So in divine sex, a man has a spiritual practice, a commitment to himself and to his growth. But today, boys are lost too early on to ways of life that disconnects them from their hearts. And again, this is porn, this is alcohol, it's many, many things. So I'm going to say a few things now, like to make you think a little bit maybe. What does a divine woman, and I'm speaking of a divine woman who's in her divinity, a path of divinity as well, wants from a man, okay? And I'm giving you some things to think about, boys and men, in order for you to kind of aim to something else, something better. So first of all is integrity. We want integrity in a man, to himself and to others. We want him to honor his word and his way of life, and his beliefs and his commitment. We want his actions to be 100% aligned with his words. Integrity is a huge, huge thing. Second thing, he respects his time and other people's time. He will not let his woman wait for him, and he will not let anyone else wait for him. Again, this has to do with integrity, but respecting people's time. The masculine is also about time. The feminine she has no time. She could do whatever, whenever, she's kind of, time has nothing to do with the feminine, but the masculine The divine masculine, he's connected with the time, idea of time, but and it's all about the way that we use time. Okay, if he uses time correctly with respect to other people, that shows a lot about his divine masculine. Number 3, he protects. A divine masculine is here to protect. He feels the urge to be a protector to everyone around him, to his women, for a woman first of all, to his family, his friends, his community, animals, nature. That's why a divine man will not eat animals, because he cannot, because he's there to protect them. A divine man is not going to smoke a cigarette and throw the butt on the floor, because he cares about, he feels through his heart his connection to everything. So you see how these little things show you if a man is on his divine path. So he takes care of his body and his spirit. A divine man is committed to a spiritual practice he chooses, eats well, and keeps his body in pure high frequency. Very important, because he's the vessel. He's the channel who brings light into your vessel when you're having sex. So he has to keep his channel pure, because he's bringing you all the energy into your vessel, into your body, women. So you've got to make sure this man is pure in his energy. Of course, if you're also pure in your energy and you're in your divine path. So let's see. So also he knows that, a divine man knows that he enters a temple when he enters a woman. So he wants to keep his body pure for her and for the energies that they create together. He respects your body, he respects your body as well. He feels, number 4, he feels his woman and knows even better than her sometimes. Listen to what I'm saying. And I know a lot of women are going to be upset about what I'm saying right now, but this is deep teachings about masculine and feminine. And if you stick with me, you will learn this. He feels his woman and knows even better than her sometimes what she needs and wants. This is a hard one for people to grasp, but a man in his power really does know what his woman wants. He really does know. He feels her from the heart so deeply that he knows. She is in many places at once. That's a feminine energy. And if he is centered, connected to her through his heart, and feels her so deeply the way the masculine should, from that place he takes decision for her, and then she can surrender into her feminine. She can trust. She can allow him to lead her. And this is not about control, people. Please pay attention. This is not about a man controlling a woman. This is about trusting. This is about me, for example, a woman, trusting my man so much, knowing that he knows me so much, so deeply, that I can just let go. I can surrender. All I have to worry about is be my feminine and let him lead me through the physical world. Let him take care of all these things that I'm not meant to take care of. And I, in return, I take care of all the other things that he's not supposed to take care of. Okay? So I can, he takes decision and like I can surrender and trust and be fully in my feminine freedom. It's such a free feeling for a woman to have a man like that. And he knows her not just like in sexual pleasure. He doesn't know just how to please her sexually, but in every way, in every single way of their everyday life together. Number 5, he faces life with full bravery, responsibility, dedication, and love. Once a man chooses, remember, a masculine energy is like an arrow. It's shooting straight. It's going somewhere. It always has a purpose. So once he chooses a path, he's very dedicated to it. He's not going to just jump around from one thing to another. That's a woman. A woman can do that. If she's in her feminine power, she can just jump around, and that's okay. But a masculine is very dedicated. He respects and understands the feminine energy, even though he doesn't agree with her all the time. And he knows how to handle it with love and patience without letting his woman's energy sway him from his center. It's a very big one, okay? We don't want a man, a divine woman doesn't want a man who just does what she says. We actually, it's for me, it's very unattractive actually. I want a man who knows what he wants. And even if I'm going to tell him, don't do it, he's still going to do it because he knows from his heart that that's the right thing. Not because he's playing games with me of power. No. Because he trusts his heart and he follows his heart no matter what me or anyone else says to him. And again, the man has to go from his heart, not from his ego. If a man goes from his ego, he's not in his divinity. His woman's going to feel it. She's going to keep testing you. She's going to keep pushing your buttons. And that's not going to lead anywhere good. It's just going to keep leading to fights and destruction. So again, I'm giving these examples from a place of both people working from their divinity. A man in his divinity will not accept manipulation from his woman or anyone else. Again, remember, the dark side of the woman is manipulation. And sometimes we do it not, we don't even mean to, and we do it. But a divine man is gonna, even if he loves his woman, he's not gonna accept her manipulation or anything else. He's gonna feel her. He's gonna know if she's jumping into her dark side, because we're not perfect. No one, the man can jump into his shadow. The woman can jump into her shadow. But me as a woman, I'm not going to accept the shadow of my man. I'm going to expect only his divinity, and he's going to do the same with me, because we're going to keep each other at our highest frequency level, because when we come together in unity, we want to create high frequency. So the last one, he cries and he speaks about his emotions when he needs to, and he allows others to do the same. A divine man is not afraid of emotions. He's not afraid of his own emotions. And that's why he's not afraid when his woman is going crazy with her emotions. I think one of the main reasons that men are so terrified when a woman is like in her crazy emotion place is because they're scared of their own emotions. And the woman is just mirroring that. So a divine man is very connected to his heart and what he's feeling, and he's not afraid to express it. And of course, let others express it, his woman and everyone else around him. Now, a quick thing I want to say about porn. Very quick thing. Like I said, I have a lot to say about porn. Another tip for men who really are committed to being on the divine path. Stop watching porn. Yes, I know this is very hard for you to hear, but please stop watching porn. Not only that it's brainwashing people into the worst way of lovemaking and distorts sexual energy, but it separates us on a subconscious level from really connecting and respecting and longing for this unity, for one soul to work with and to go deep with, because it programs our mind, especially men, to see women as dispensable, and to believe women are there for their amusement, and that they are a place to unload their ejaculation, their energy, their stress, and all the shit, And I'm a woman. I am not a place for a man to just dump their shit on me, okay? And I'm speaking about sex, I'm speaking ejaculation. So it programs to have sex completely in an unconscious way, and which is the opposite of sex magic. You cannot do sex magic like that. Porn is exactly the opposite of what a real divine union should be, especially the way it's made today. I mean, porn is all the time itself, but the way it's done today, very, 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 very destructive. So let's go. I want to speak about brotherhood. Brotherhood, yes. Men, please, if you're in a divine path, what I ask you to do and what I invite you to do, I don't even ask you, I invite you to create more brotherhood. I believe one of the reasons the masculine got so lost is that it didn't have all this time like true leadership and true brotherhood. Find men who respect women, who respect nature, who respect the world, their own bodies, who have a purpose. Find men who have a purpose. A divine masculine has a purpose higher than himself. That is the number one thing about the divine masculine. And create real brotherhood with these men. Pay attention to what men and boys you have around you. If you're in a divine path, you might have to say goodbye to a lot of people in your life, okay? And this goes for women too, of course. Support each other. For women, it's a lot more easy. We always had sisterhood, and we always will have sisterhood, and we always speak with our sisters about everything. Have someone to talk to, since I know it's hard for most men to talk to women, even if they love their woman and they have a woman. There are things that, I can only say to my sisters, and I know that men feel the same. So yeah, brotherhood, go brotherhood. We need men to be men, and we need women to be women. And we need more of us to live from our divine power and to do our natural work here on earth with love and joy and integrity to ourselves and each other. Respecting the beauty and power in the other and seeing the gifts that both feminine and masculine hold. And when they unite, when these two people unite from this divine place, we create worlds of paradise. And a word for the women, for women. Remember that the path of the masculine is intertwined with the path of the feminine. This is a game of polarities. And so the way the masculine evolves out of the dark masculine time is linked to how we evolve into our divine feminine also. So we're in this together, people. If we keep holding on to our masculine women and want to be like men in a man's world, then the men will have no choice but to become also more feminine, because it's a polarity. It always has to be balanced in the world. So the way to keep the balance is to be women, to fully be in our feminine power, and let the men be masculine. Trust them. We need to also give them a little faith, to trust them, because I know not all of us are going to become, connected to our divine power, not women, not men, but a lot of us are. So women, the best way to help men is to embrace your femininity, really. And it's the best thing. It's so fun to be a woman. Most of us need to relearn what it is like to be a woman, but it is a well worth journey of exploration and surrendering. Enjoy it. You are a creature of pleasure and ecstasy, and a divine man knows that. So I hope this helps and inspired at least a few of you. I know that the work that I do is not everyone is ready for it. Very few are actually ready for it. That's why, I don't do this for anything. I just know that the right people will find their path to me if I am their guide for now. And I wanted to introduce a work that I've been doing for a while, and I finally put it out there because it's work that I do with very, very few people. I basically do it with 1 or 2 people at a time. It is called The Return of the God-Man. I'm going to put a link down below to my website, and you can read everything about this work. This work is only for men. This work is only for brave men who are on their divine path, and I do not accept every man to this work. I repeat, I do not accept every man to this work. This is very intense. It has a lot of rules. It has a lot of requirements. It's a 3-month extreme commitment from you and from me to do this work, because I'm committed to awakening divine men, because we need divine men on this planet right now. There is a reason why I ask for all these requirements. A lot of men ask me why I have these requirements. Trust me, there is a reason for it. And you need to trust me, and I will trust you. You can read more about this work if you want to. It's, like I said, it's a 3 months intensive spiritual coaching. And yeah, we just need more divine men right now. And I am determined to remind these men that it's their time to wake up. I am a sex priestess, and I teach the divine teaching straight from the temple of Isis. I've never spoken about this before, and I knew it will take time for me to speak about this, but my teachers, I have one teacher that's here on earth, a physical person, and the rest of my teachers are not here on earth. So this is all I'm going to say for now about this. But my teachings are straight from the divine temple of Isis. And no one that I've seen so far teaches sex magic the way I do. A lot of people go straight into the last lesson, but I like to bring people the basics. And that's why I spend so much time, I spend more than a year now on YouTube just giving people the basics. And only people who really, really want to learn the true teachings of sex magic with good intentions, I know that they will find and they will stick with me, because the rest are just going to fade away, because these teachings are not for everyone. Not everyone is ready for it, and also these powers and energies are so strong, and a lot of people in the past have misused these magical energies. So really, I only want to teach those who have the good intentions to use them correctly, because we need the frequencies on earth to rise right now. So again, I will post this link below for my God-Man work. You can go to my website. You can also download my free ebook. And in this year, at some point, I'm going to release a sex magic workshop and book. Again, this is not going to be for everyone. It's going to be very intense. So yeah, I love you all. I'm a servant of the Mother, and I pray for the awakening of all men, women, and children on planet Earth. Thank you so much.